So it is currently just after 5 in the morning. My whole room, you can kind of see behind me, is still really dark, and we are about to go diving with a whole bunch of sharks with Scuba Dan and my boy Gray. So first vlog in a couple of years, and I'm gonna take you along this whole journey of some of the most ocean's beautiful creatures in Jupiter, Florida. So got about an hour and a half drive to go. I got about 30 minutes to get to Aventura where Gray is, and then after that about an hour and 20 to Jupiter. So let's go. And there's the Uber. And we made it.
Buddy, good morning.
Let's go. Gray, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Let's go. It's a little still dark.
It is definitely still dark. There's nothing like a good excursion when you start out with your weary eyes and you got at least another hour and a half or 2 hours of darkness. That's when you know it's good.
Road's looking good though. Let's go. And now, after about an hour and a half of driving, coffee time. Let's get it. Now, we've made it. Now that we have arrived in Jupiter, the next part of the mission is to find the man, Scuba Dan. So I'm gonna go try and locate him. You may have seen him on TikTok. We're actually going out with him into the water today. He's the organizer of the whole trip. Swimming with sharks has been an absolute dream of mine since I was a kid. Today is the day that I crossed that off the bucket list. Can't wait to get into with these very misunderstood creatures, nice and up close, and we are gonna be getting a lot of underwater videography done too. So let's head out and make sure we find everybody.
My name is Tanner. I'm gonna be your guys' guide today. Also photographer for you guys that want the photos. I'll also be feeding the sharks, getting them nice and comfortable with us, making sure you guys are good. Captain Curtis, he'll be driving the boat. We also got Scuba Dan. He's gonna be an extra set of eyes out there. We're gonna take you to a spot we call Deep Ledge. Deep Ledge is a drop off. Gulf Stream current here is getting really close to shore and it's pushing all kinds of nutrients up against that reef shelf. And there's all kinds of wildlife out there. Sailfish, wahoo, tuna, marlin, turtles, you name it. But obviously going for some sharks, what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop a crate of fish right into their living room, and that's gonna attract, bait fish in the area, different kinds of wildlife, and then following that is gonna be sharks. Now, we're in the middle of pelagic season, probably the best time of the year to be out here because we're getting migratory silkies, duskies, sandbars, sometimes Caribbean reef, hammerheads, the occasional tiger, on top of our local sharks, which are bull sharks and lemon sharks. So we can see a range of any of those species. Seeing probably silky sharks today. They're the ones that we've been getting most consistently, and they're the ones that we want to be the most aware of when we're out there. Reason being, they don't really know what personal space is. So they're probably gonna be up in our face, probably gonna be swimming right in between you guys, getting real close, right? See it every day, it's normal. I'm gonna be, judging their behavior, judging your guys' behavior, make sure everybody's safe and everybody's cool out there. The number one thing that we wanna do with sharks, whether it's today or anywhere in the world you guys see a shark, is just maintain eye contact. So from the minute you guys put on that mask and get in the water, I want you guys to have your heads down, eyes on the sharks. Start counting how many we have. So if we have one silky, just follow that silky everywhere. Keep your eyes on that shark in particular. Know where it's at all times. If we have two sharks, if you see one in front of you, look behind you. You probably got one behind you. If you see both in front of you, probably both in front of you. So on and so forth. If I start counting out sharks, if I'm like, guys, we got 4 silky sharks here, I know you guys aren't gonna be able to keep track of where all those sharks are at all times. So just constantly be scanning your surroundings. Down, behind you, in front of you, everywhere. And as the sharks get close to you, just show them that you're aware of them and they're gonna respect your space because unlike, media and popular belief, these sharks are actually gonna look at us as another apex predator. They're gonna see us as, just because of our size, we're like the same size as them with our fins on. So they're gonna be like, okay, this is something that could potentially hurt me. They're very unfamiliar with what we are. And these sharks are, just because of their size and stature, they're gonna look at us as another healthy apex predator if everything goes according to plan. Reason that they wouldn't see us as another apex predator is if we're acting like prey, right? So if we get in the water and we start freaking out, splashing around, screaming, stuff like that, that's naturally gonna draw their curiosity. Now, I've seen everything, guys. I've been doing this for years. I've seen it all. I've seen full-blown panic attacks, everything. We can still keep it safe, but I'm just gonna say that, you know, the easiest way to do this is for you guys to remain calm, even if you're a little nervous, and I promise within minutes, you guys will start loosening up. You'll be like, okay, these sharks are just swimming by me, ignoring me, doing their own thing, and everything gets easy from there. But if you splash at the surface, that splashing is like a natural predation instinct that there's some kind of something being eating or some kind of commotion going on at the surface. And a lot of times sharks will swim up and they'll want to investigate. They'll be like, what's going on up here? If we're freaking out, splashing around, doing whatever, and the sharks are coming up, you know, it's just like, I gotta stop what I'm doing. Dan might have to stop what he's doing. We'll swim over, make sure you're all good, have to be next to you for a little while, and so on and so forth. So the structure of the dive is really easy, guys. We're gonna be drifting up that cold stream. We're not gonna be anchored. We're gonna be drifting as a unit the entire time. We're gonna have a line with a buoy trailing the edge of the boat. I'm gonna be with the crate off the middle of the boat. And as we drift up, I'm gonna have you guys, everybody to start the dive is gonna get in, and we're just gonna hold on to that line. You guys are gonna be as a group, and you're just gonna hold on there and you're gonna float there. Once we get consistent shark action, once we have them, and I know we got them, then I can start one by one. For those that, you know, want photos and videos, I can start pulling you off the line. I can have you kind of do your own thing. I can focus on you, Dan can focus on the group, have you dive down, you know, get some shots, do that kind of stuff. Put you back on the line, we'll get somebody else that wants to come off, and we can do that. If you guys get comfortable enough to, you know, be swimming around, doing your own thing, please don't try touching the sharks. Remember that this is not a petting zoo. These are wild apex predators. They are sharks, don't forget that. Most likely they're gonna get scared because they think you're trying to attack them and they'll swim away, but it's likely that maybe you go sticking your hand in their face enough, they might think you're trying to feed them, they might get defensive, who knows? So let's just not try to touch them at any point. Once we get there, we'll get you guys gear, and then we'll see what we got for sharks, all right?
Scuba Dan, what can we expect on this dive?
Big sharks.
What kind of sharks?
Bull sharks, you might get some silky sharks, you might get a megalodon. Depends how lucky you are, mate.
All right, let's get a megalodon. So we just made it to what looks like the dive spot. About to hop in just a moment, and now it's time to get ready, put on all the gear, and hop in. Feeling more excited than I am anything else, so something, like I mentioned earlier, want to do my entire life, and now we get to do it, so let's go. Using some of this soap to clear out the mask, make sure that I don't fog up. That was definitely more than I was expecting. Next step, putting on the fins and hopping in. From here on out, everything else you're gonna see is gonna be underwater, taken by Tanner. just got out of the water. Absolutely unbelievable experience. I think what was so cool was I basically entered this like complete meditative state of pure calm. I even remember just counting my exhales, trying to get them to like 10 plus seconds, because then I knew that my heart rate would slow, just making me really, really bliss. Gray even like pushed the shark and redirected it, which was so cool. We started out with 2 sandbar sharks and had that one silky shark that stayed with us the whole time. You never know when you come out on these excursions. Sometimes you get hammerheads, sometimes you get bull sharks. Today was mostly a silky encounter, but I can guarantee this is not the only shark experience that I will be doing. It's probably not the last time I'll be coming out on a trip like this either. The fact that I was so calm and now feel so high just says everything about what I signed up for today. So can't thank the lads enough.
We jumped in the water, 3 sharks. I've done some shark dives before, but this one was spectacular. We got off the line, got really close to the sharks. At one point, the shark came straight at me. Like, I was this close to its face. I literally had to put my arm out, tapped it on the nose, and it pretty much just stopped, which was the craziest experience I've had underwater. And I've been fortunate enough to do great white shark dives, tiger shark dives, but this was really incredible. Just leaving the water so stoked. When you're in the water like this, you're so focused on the moment because there's sort of some survival instinct that kicks in, and you definitely try to control your breathing, but that thing gets close and you're sort of at the mercy of the ocean at that point. So really incredible experience. It's 9:30 a.m. and I feel like we've already had a full day. I'm done, I'm toast, I'm happy.
So that wraps up the entire journey today. Tanner was gracious enough to lead the whole experience and even kind of act as a bodyguard for a brief period of time. I'll let him kind of explain how you can get in contact if you want to come to Jupiter, explore and thrive with some sharks.
Cool, guys. So yeah, we're located here in Jupiter, Florida. Right now we're seeing a range of different sharks: silky sharks, dusky sharks, sandbar sharks. Got the locals, the bull sharks, the lemon sharks, occasional hammerheads. You can contact me on Instagram, Tanner Underwater, or you can visit my website, tannerunderwater.com. If you want to come out and see some sharks, we'll take care of you.
All the photos and videos that you saw underwater was this guy, so you know it's good shit. So see you in the next one.